Helldivers 2 is getting a movie. Now that was not only quick, but a fitting crowning achievement for the gaming-related cultural event of 2024, where Helldivers 2 came out of absolutely nowhere and blew the industry out of the water. It was a success the likes of which we have very rarely seen in video gaming. It soared so high it seemed untouchable, and indeed only itself could bring it down, as there were ample PR disasters surrounding the game, with moderators attacking influencers, with constant pointless weapons nerf, with the banning of people from their Discord for reacting with the vomit emote to the furry art of moderators. To, of course, the statement that we are not a political game, and then moving on to ban everyone on the right wing of the spectrum whilst keeping the left wing dudes completely intact, proving yet again that when we say no politics in the current year, it means only left-wing politics. But despite this, the game managed quite remarkably so to recover, and in a very short amount of time too. The game's creators stepped in and actually did the right things for once. Recently, Pilistar then mentioned that there would be no DEI initiatives that didn't fit into the game itself. He reversed many of the nerfs to weapons, in fact practically all of them I think, and he has overseen a remarkable resurgence of Helldivers 2. Now, whether or not he can survive this movie, that's the question we're gonna talk about today, because it's already being compared to Starship Troopers. Yes, why was I downing myself there? But not in only the good ways, because you might think Starship Troopers, Helldivers 2, goddamn yes, that is a match made in heaven. Well, Earth is a total fascist planet deluding itself into believing it's managed democracy. I remind you, Starship Troopers was an accident, a sheer, unadulterated accident. Poor Verhoeven did not want to make the movie you and I adore. He wanted to make it a satire of fascism, and I guarantee you there are a lot of people right now jerking off furiously to the idea of doing the same thing to Helldivers 2, but in 2025. What do you think the odds are lightning will strike twice? And I'll point out as well, this is of course going to be done by Sony Pictures, the corporate social responsibility Sony Pictures, the DEI Sony Pictures, the creators of the television show Woke, Sony Pictures. I'm just saying this. It's gonna be an uphill battle for Helldivers 2. Oh boy, is it gonna be an uphill struggle. And here's the thing as well. To the actual gamers, they understand that this is not supposed to be a satire of fascism. If anything, the bugs, as in Starship Troopers, is supposed to be more fascistic than the managed democracy of Super Earth, obviously enough. But to the majority of everyone else in the left-wing influence sphere, oh, it's fascism all around. I did like a 30-second Google search for this, and it is constant. Perhaps forgetting his game is a loaded parody of fascism, Helldivers 2 director says, make good games, don't make contemporary political statements. Your media literacy receipt is calling for you, sir. There has been an assload of memes made about it. There was this one, for example, which came from the Helldivers Alert, which is now a massive fan account, not an official account, that basically rides this for clout and politics. Helldivers 2 takes place in a fictional galaxy where between alien bugs, autonomous robots, and the idiotic fascist humans of Super Earth. Remember when we did that React video just a little while ago? How can somebody identify with the literal bugs when the humans have done nothing wrong? There you go. As we talked about there, the left of today has grown such a remarkably strong outgroup preference that even in a scenario where the humans, as in Starship Troopers, are doing literally nothing wrong, they will still side with the literal genocidal space bugs over the humans. I mean, the outgroup fetishization has reached levels never before seen in human civilization, I'm pretty certain. And it just keeps going and going and going. And of course the Reddits too are overrun with this. The strident consensus from the left wing, and you might think, okay, that's irrelevant, who gives a shit what the Maniacs are thinking? The Maniacs are still the ones in charge of the majority of the corporations, mind you. The Maniacs are still the ones in charge of the levers of governmental power. The Maniacs are still the ones in charge of most of the news outlets and the gaming news coverage sites. They are the ones who will set the narrative to 98% of normies. Now, if there is a suitably effective anti-woke campaign launched, presumably via YouTube, the only place that does it, that may very well counterbalance this narrative to a great extent, and can even upend it completely, as we have seen with many other shows. The alternative influencer scene has been able to make and break things on multiple occasions now. Even major entities like Star Wars is not immune to this, and Helldivers too. Oh, I guarantee you this will be covered heavily, as a lot of people will have a lot of things invested in this. But simultaneously, when Sony Pictures does the casting call for this, when they start looking for people to write the screenplay, to direct the movie, all of that, they are going to be picking from a very large pond of very left-wing people. And there is not going to be a whole lot of people in there willing to challenge the idea that this is supposed to be a satire of fascism. In all due likelihood, they will just watch Paul Verhoeven's clip going, I intended this to be a satire, 337 times a day on repeat to get in the correct headspace for all of this. Now, it's not impossible. They bring up the old dead horse. It could be good. In fact, this is starting as 2025, meaning that there is at least the potential hope of head of Sony and Pictures and these entertainment entities going down and going, no, don't make it work. It doesn't sell. If Disney can do it, God willing, Sony can do so as well. That is the hope. But you need to approach this rather carefully, okay? Because Helldivers 2 is not a story that necessarily leads itself overly well to a movie storytelling, since then you'd usually want to add in some other forms of drama, some political commentary mayhaps, some character growth and all of this, whereas Helldivers 2 is largely just a explosions, kill bugs, managed democracy kind of setting. Honestly, that is how I would play it. I would play it straight. Think Idiocracy, where they're not actually making a whole lot of direct commentary on what's happening. They construct a world, then they put a self-insert character into it to experience that world, and they look at the audience and go, how stupid, wasn't it? In essence, that is what they should do with Helldivers 2. Create the world, then put a character into it, a fresh-faced Helldiver, and lean into the humor of it. Have your teammates blow themselves up, blow each other up for shits and giggles. Lean into the funny parts. And then also do lots and lots of action here. I do not think this is a movie that will lend itself particularly well to a highbrow interpretation of Helldivers 2. I don't think the movie creators should launch into an investigation into what exactly managed democracy means. I do not think they should try to lean into the discussion about the morality of all of this, or who started the war, or who did what, or who's in the wrong side. Any attempt to do so is going to be nothing short of a left-wing bludgeon, I guarantee it. As I frankly do not think there is anyone within mainstream entertainment right now with the understanding and the cojones to play this effectively as a satirical political commentary. I don't think there's anyone with that degree of nuance available in Hollywood right now. And judging by Helldivers 2 how they have managed their community as well, I definitely wouldn't let them at it either. Now, Pillestad, the CEO, he has done a lot of things correct. If anyone is likely to do it justice, it would probably be him, keeping a tight rein on the production of everything else, but you've seen their community managers. You don't want to give them any power over this. And again, I want to just remind you, Arrowhead is a Swedish company. You know, Sweden, the nation that ran a count on grenade attacks in Sweden and then stopped, realizing that it made them look awfully racist to keep count. The country that just a couple of years ago had like half a dozen bombs go off across the country due to a gang war. The country that has had Iraq complain that too many gangsters are coming back from Sweden. I, as a Norwegian, have very limited trust in the Swedish people's capacity to do damn near anything. And this is not a movie I would entrust them with either. Nor would I entrust it to Sony either, though. All I'm saying here, guys, is I think this is a... I was about to say good idea, but I think I'm going to take that back. I think this is a deserved honor. Yes, that's more correctly. This is something that Helldivers 2 has deserved, but... the rushed nature of it, the fact that this is now coming out within like a year of the game's release, the obvious want to just like, oh my god, we've got a success on our hands, we gotta take advantage of it, get something on the boards, now. And the fact that it is as politically lambasted as it is going to make this challenging to be good, shall we say. There's a lot of inherent dangers in this property and in this project, so strap in, ladies and gentlemen, because nothing you've seen in Helldivers 2 is going to be quite as confrontational or as intense as this production is likely to be over the next couple of years. Until next time, I have been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.